Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. In today's video, I wanted to do something dark with some pink. I got inspiration for this look from somebody on TikTok. I will link her down below. You should definitely check her out. She is really good, and she's what I aspire to be one day. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button so you can see more of my videos. Anything I use will be listed down in the description box below. If you'd like to see how I do this, then keep on watching. Hey guys, I'm gonna have to do some voiceover. I've done this look like 3 different times, and I think I might have deleted some clips, so that's why I'm kind of starting in the middle of this eye right now. I'm not too far in, so you haven't missed too much. I've already done my eyebrows, and I used the e.l.f. brow lift, and I filled them in with the soft brown brow powder duo by Anastasia Beverly Hills with a number 12 eyebrow brush. To prep my eyes, I used the Maybelline Eraser Concealer in the shade 100. For this look, I'm going to be using 3 different palettes. I'm going to be using the Morphe and James Charles palette, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Carli Bybel palette, and then I'm using the NYX Ultimate Shadow palette. Starting this look off, I am using the shade Spooky from the Morphe and James Charles palette. The brush I am using is by Morphe. It's just a small blending brush. Now, because I'm doing a half cut crease, I'm going to clean up the extra eyeshadow with some Marcella water and a Q-tip. For the cut crease, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer with a Morphe M421 brush. Using the Ultimate Shadow palette, I'm going to go into this like salmon shade right there. There's no shade names on this, so I'm going to have to just point it out. The brush I'm using is a Morphe M518, and I'm just going to use this to pack this color onto that concealer. And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of pressing. I'm not going to move it around. Using a flat Morphe brush, I'm going to go back into that spooky shade, and I'm only going to pick up a little bit, and I'm actually going to tap off all the excess because I don't want it to go into that pink shade, and I'm just going to sharpen these lines up a little bit more on the black, and I want to kind of blend it out a little bit. Then I'm going to use what's left over on the brush and kind of blend that pink into the black so there's not such a harsh line. I'm going to take a wipe and then clean up those edges where the eyeshadow is just kind of everywhere. Because some of the black has faded out because of all the blending, I'm going to go back in with that same small blending brush by Morphe and go back into that spooky shade and just kind of darken it up on that outer side. And again, I'm going to place first and then blend, because I don't want the majority of the color to move. I just want it to darken it. So I'm using a lot of tapping, not a lot of brushing. Before I finish anything else with my eyes, I need to do my face. To start, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and I'm just going to use a BS Small round face brush. I have been working on this look all day today, and I just couldn't seem to figure it out. So this is honestly the third attempt at doing this. My eyes are so raw. And I said if I didn't get it this time, I'm gonna have to quit, because my poor eyes I don't think they can take it again. Be wiping it all back off. So hopefully this is the final time. And so far it doesn't look bad. The first two attempts were pretty awful. I was also using too bright of a pink, so I had to change it because it was just way too bright. For concealer, I'm going to use a mix between the Maybelline Eraser Concealer in the shade 100 and the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Light Ivory. The reason I mix them is because I like the light coverage that this gives, but I like the color of this. This matches my skin tone too much. This is a little bit lighter, so it actually lightens my T-zone. But I don't like the coverage of this. It's too full coverage. So I mix them to kind of mix the coverage that they give and the color. I don't really prefer a full coverage concealer just because I just don't like the way it looks. It looks good on other people. I just don't prefer it. I also like my natural freckles, and like I always see a lot of people covering up their freckles, and I don't like it. I like freckles, so I'm always like, I don't know, I just don't understand why you want to cover your freckles up. I used to want to when I was little, but like now I've kind of grown into them a little bit better, and I like them a lot more, so I don't want to cover them up. And because this e.l.f. concealer, the hydrating concealer, has such a full coverage, I don't need a lot to get that color. For contour, I'm going to use the NYX Wonder Stick. Using a JS3 brush, I'm going to blend that contour out. To blend out my nose contour, I'm going to use my finger. For blush, I'm going to use the PLouise Cosmetic Base in the shade Winter Rose. To set those creams, I'm going to use some setting spray. This is the e.l.f. Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. And I'm going to use a beauty blender to kind of press that in. I also use this to kind of pick up any excess product that might be left over from anything, and this kind of blends it all in. For setting powder, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Paris Hydra Perfect, and it is the translucent powder. For bronzer, I'm going to use the Butter Bronzer, and this is the Sun Kissed Bronzer. Now I'm going to go back to my eyes and I'm going to start working on my under eye. Using a flat Morphe brush, I'm going to go back into that spooky shade. Right now all I'm doing is just carving out where I want it, and then I'll blend it out later. I want it to meet kind of at a point with the top eyeshadow. And I don't really want it to go too far out of that, kind of like that. Using that same blending brush that I used for the black on the top, I'm going to go back in with that brush, but I'm not going to add any more product. I'm just going to blend what's already there. I feel like you always have one eye that wants to cooperate, that does what you want, and then you have another one that just doesn't do the same thing. Because like this one, it's doing exactly what I want. This one, not so much. And I'm afraid to do too much because my face is done. I don't want to have to redo literally everything. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to clean off that blending brush, and I'm going to go into a brighter pink shade, the lightest amount. Like the lightest amount, and I'm going to blend around that black, and I'm just going to go right on that edge. When you blend that out, you want to have like a feather light touch. You don't really want to touch your eyeshadow too much because you don't want to move it. For my waterline, I don't have a black eyeliner, but I do have Velvet Trap lipstick from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. It's called Pure Hell. It's just like a straight black shade. His liquid lipsticks are good for the eye, so I tried looking it up. Do your own research on it. If it's not good for your eyes, don't do it. But I didn't find anything. And I'm assuming because his liquid lipstick is good for the eyes, I'm sure he made his like the actual lipstick, good for the eyes as well. So I'm going to use that as my lower waterline. And I'm probably going to do this off camera, but I'm using a Morphe M213, and I'm just going to try to pick it up by brushing it on this brush. For mascara, I'm going to use their Real by Benefit. I like this mascara, but it takes so long to dry that even me just sitting here fanning it, it still gets under my eye, and it's so annoying. Using that Anastasia Beverly Hills Carli Bybel palette, I'm going to use the shade Cindy for my inner corner. And I'm using a Morphe M213 brush. I cleaned the lipstick off of it. I'm going to use a liquid liner to kind of make a little inner cat eye look. I'm going to use the NYX Epic Ink Liner, and I'm just doing it on my inner corner. I'm not going to make it like a whole wing or anything. I don't know if that took away from it or added to it. For highlighter, I'm going to use the Becca pressed powder, and this is in the shade Pearl. I'm going to use that same Morphe M213 brush again for the highlighter, and I'm just going to place that on top of the inner corner color. Now that I'm done with my face, I'm going to set it again with some of the Dewy Coconut Setting Mist that I used before. I'm going to use that Velvet Trap lipstick from Jeffree Star Cosmetics in the shade Pure Hell. And I don't have a lip liner for this in this shade or any kind of black lip liner, so I'm going to use a brush, and this is just a BS Small brush. I don't really know what kind of brush it is. It's just kind of pointed, so I'm going to use that to line my lips with this shade. Okay, now I'm just going to use the lipstick. I'm going to use that brush that I use for concealer, the M421, and whatever's left over on this brush, I'm going to clean up the edges. So that is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I like hearing y'all's feedback, so please comment down below with anything you'd like to tell me or any future videos you'd like to see. Until next time, bye.